Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
All right, boys, prepare to be dazzled. Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled, dazzled, dazzled.
Hi guys, it's Dazzle, and I'm going to give you a brief history breakdown and overview of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Queen's Log, setting the board for success with cryptocurrency, and me, Dazzle. So stop, reality check. We know, as per my previous video, that your money is real, it's fake. And so
Prepare to be
we need
dazzled.
to start game planning on how to be proactive and really take charge of our financial outcome in these new coming of times. So what is money? We live in a world that basically revolves around money. I mean, people kill, steal, and all kind of other crazy things for it. So what is it? It's a medium of exchange, unit of account, store of value. And I'll break that down a little further here in a second. Let's talk about you. Do you have a savings for the future? Do you have any emergency funds? Have you paid all your debts and loans? Are you happy with the salary that you're making at your 9-to-5 job? And are your goals and dreams a reality? Like, have you achieved the things that you want to in life? Now, to kind of concentrate the focus on a few of these questions, if you do have savings for the future or emergency funds, guess what? It's in fake money. So therefore, you need to have a game plan to liquidate it into something that really has value. Do you want to change? Like, are you willing to open your eyes to see the better solutions that there are out there? Now that you know the truth, what are you going to do? So, I mean, when you think about why we use money to pay our phone bill, to buy cars, and hundreds of other different things. And money is just used as a seal that says we both agree that we had a fair trade or a fair exchange. So if I give you $1 and you give me an apple, we just agreed that my dollar is the signed seal that we agree that the dollar for the apple is a fair trade. The rich and the poor. And so there are a lot of debates as far as rich and poor. And per the guidelines of Uncle Sam, you are not rich if you do not net profit at least $250,000 in income, or you have $1 million in assets. So again, if you are not profiting at least $250,000 a year, you are poor. Or if you don't have at least $1 million in assets. By the tax brackets and definition in this country, that's the definition of rich and poor, where the line is drilled in the sand. So lesson number 1 is rich do not work for their money. They are not chasing their dollars. They are gravitating them to them by working smart and not hard. And that's from interest, investments, and their assets. The poor and the middle class work for money. You're going to that 9-to-5 slaving for that fake money, and the rich have their money work for them. Rich really did make money. They did not work for it. They created it. And you can just create it by implementing strategies. So let's talk about the digital era. However, as the current society has been digitized, the new concept of currency is keenly necessary, and a currency that can be used in the internet, other words in cyberspace, has appeared, and we call it as cryptocurrency. But I mean, we've already been doing this as far as convenience. So if you have $250,000, you're not going to want to have $250,000 in bills. So they created debit cards, which is basically cryptocurrency. Again, a seal that says, you can walk out of the store because you gave your currency or fake money to the store so that you can get the product. So what is cryptocurrency? The revolution of cryptocurrency is facing a heyday with the birth of Bitcoin. It's based on a mathematical formula created by a fellow named Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009. Now, Satoshi Nakamoto is not a real person. It's an acronym and a entity that's remaining anonymous. And so no one really knows who that is. And, you know, they prefer it that way. And you can probably understand why, because if something so wonderful, you know, had an owner, you could make that owner go bye-bye. Like your money. Anyways. So Bitcoin cannot be printed or physically made, and it must be generated through computerized networks. It's decentralized, so it's not regulated by any government or banking institution, which is pretty cool because it cannot be manipulated. Revolutionary transactions allow for you to remain anonymous, and they're fast, quick, and in a hurry. You know, different strokes for different folks, and some purchases you might want to keep private. And hey, whatever floats your boat. But with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, your business is not all out there because it's just a confirmation of a transaction, and it's borderless. Like, you can buy something from the United States from all over the world, and there's no discrepancy on currency value and exchange and all that goodness. So how do you use Bitcoin? Well, you take your fake money and you load it onto like your debit card or put it in your bank, and then you load it into what's called a Bitcoin wallet, and that's how you again agree on the fair trade of your fake money for Bitcoin. And then, so now it's online and you can use it for all kind of purchases. You can even scan it with QR codes from your phone. And Bitcoin is actually consistently going up in value. So what you have today may be worth a totally different value tomorrow. And that is so awesome because that lets everybody partake in building wealth. So Bitcoin didn't come with like instructions like a lot of things in life. And so it's kind of based on the pricing module of the stock market. And on May 21st, this guy bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. Now, my people perish for a lack of knowledge, and you definitely should do your homework with there being such a vast variety of cryptocurrencies out there, because he gave away 10,000 Bitcoins to date. Bitcoin is worth almost $2,000, and it's kind of like the Ron Wayne effect. Ron Wayne was one of the founding members of Apple who sold his stake for $800, and that could have profited him to be a millionaire if he would have just not lost focus and really understood the value of what he has. So don't be like the pizza guy, and don't be like Ron Wayne. In 7 years, Bitcoin's success. So Bitcoin is just transforming economies all over the world. Japan has actually made it official currency. You're seeing signs with like Subway saying they're accepting Bitcoin. It's just something that a lot of people are grasping onto the value. So you need to pay attention to the signs, start doing your research, and see that everything is transitioning and you do not want to get left behind. So a lot of people ask, you know, who is the creator of Bitcoin? And again, you know, he remains, or them, whatever, remains anonymous, because again, if you could be brought accountable for creating something of such value to the masses, there are some people in some high places who would really try to stop you. And I mean, history has proven that over and over again. So we want to stock as many as we can. And I mean, not just Bitcoin. When you think about it, technology is constantly evolving. And since technology is constantly evolving, just as when we first had the computers that were the size of a full room, you know, and now they're small that they can fit on your wrist, cryptocurrency is going to evolve. If Bitcoin is the first, there are going to be upgrades. Like people upgrade their telephones, you know, their mobile phones. They're upgrading their service plans. They're upgrading because they always want the new, the hip, what's in. And they just, you know, they like change. So with that being said, digital currency is going to change. It's going to upgrade. It's going to evolve. So this is something you need to start paying attention to and take moves to position yourself for mining. Most people have thought of mining as, you know, cracking these codes so that you can get Bitcoin, because if you can crack certain computer codes with Bitcoin, you are rewarded with a good amount of Bitcoin. Well, mining in this aspect is growing your digital currency so that you are financially in a good place when this switch happens. And so look out for these next videos, because the next videos are definitely going to have some mining techniques for the Bitcoin and also other cryptocurrencies.